Good morning, everybody, and thanks for logging in. We're just going to give people a couple more minutes to join, and then we'll kick things off. So just hold on. We'll be with you in a couple of minutes. Many thanks. Okay, good morning, everybody. I think we'll kick off. We've got all of our attendees on board. Thank you very much for logging in this morning. We've got a short workshop here, no more than 20 minutes. We're going to be looking at how we can help you keep your pipeline fresh during COVID-19. We've got some interesting people on board listening. We've got some people from the mining industry, specialists in software, specialists in drilling equipment. We've got some of the world's largest providers of electric motors, renewable source technologies. And we've got some EPC consultants on board. So a really, really interesting mix. Thank you very much for joining and listening. My name's David Kennan. I'm VP of International Business here at BNamericas, and I've been in sales for pretty much 22 years now, mainly in the IT industry. And my bread and butter is building pipeline and driving deals through to closure, helping my sales teams to work out a strategy on how to unstick a deal. That's been my job. And over the years, I've seen, as I'm sure you have, a huge amount of technology coming into the sales environment, specifically all around CRM, customer relationship management, and lots of other new tools which are coming in now, contact tools, market intelligence tools. But there's one word that hasn't changed over time, and that's qualification. Because without well-qualified leads, cost of sales just goes through the roof, and sales take longer than expected to close. It means that your sales team start getting tired, their energy starts dropping, the rhythm that we all try so hard every week to keep going starts dropping away, and morale disappears. And so a well-qualified new lead is what we're talking about today. And then once you've got that well-qualified lead, how you're pushing it through the sales pipeline, and for that I'm going to call deal flow. So how do you get the deals flowing through the pipe? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I gave this, we're doing this regularly. I gave this last month, and this was my slide, and I wasn't expecting to be showing it again, but it's really becoming the normal. Face masks, elbow pumps. My daughter is in the room next door to me. I wasn't expecting this to go on for so long, but it looks like it is the foreseeable future, unfortunately. But I think we're getting better at it. I think we're all beginning to adapt more. The reality, though, for salespeople and people that have pipelines and have sales targets, is that we haven't got any conferences, and the traditional sales techniques of networking, face-to-face meetings have gone away. And so as a result, we're having to rely on technology much more than ever. We've always talked about digital transformation for many years. I certainly have. But actually, this is the first time there's a compelling event that is making us transform, and that's COVID-19. And so COVID-19 is making us use technology in ways that we haven't done before. And interestingly, I actually think the application of technology to qualification and generating leads is very relevant. It takes out all of that emotion. It removes those relationships that everybody tells you about and lets you focus in on the facts. And it says to you, this is what a good profile of an opportunity looks like. This is what a good company looks like. Now, let's go and identify them and start talking to them. So today, I'm going to talk for a little over 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The idea here is just to give you a short of the things we're doing in business BNamericas at the moment. I want to first of all just talk about some of the typical use cases that our subscribers are using the platform for. Why are they logging into BNamericas every day, and what are they doing? And hopefully you will be able to apply that to yourself or maybe to your teams. If it does, then please get in touch with your account managers, get in touch with me, tell your teams to give us a call if they need any help in using the platform around these user cases. The second part is we're going to look at new product development and the direction in which BNamericas is going. I've been with the business for 5 months, and this is the reason why I joined the company. I think it's exceedingly exciting. We're helping thousands and thousands of providers to the industries that we're focusing identify where new business deals are in the future. And we're using some really interesting technology, and I'll tell you about that in a second. So use cases. So why are people logging in the morning to BNamericas? Well, first of all, some are logging in because our DNA is all about news. We've got news teams across Latin America and 8 different countries writing news stories, interviewing people, and really keeping your finger on the pulse in the industry. So it's all about industry insight. The second one is, like I've said, and what today is all about, lead generation and deal flow. The third one is key account management. So you might have a large percentage of your revenues locked up in 1 or 2 accounts, and you want to know everything that's going on in those accounts, even before your customers know it. So you want your account managers to be well versed in all news and activities. And then the last one is research. And so research, we have a huge amount of data that we're pulling from hundreds of different sources that can help you when you're writing a proposal to a customer. It can help you when you're writing a report to your shareholders or maybe your senior management, or if you're just doing some due diligence on a particular supplier or a customer. So those are the 4 key use cases that we talk about here in BNamericas. And today, like I said, lead generation and deal flow is what we're focusing on. So lead generation. So, you know, if the leads stop being generated, your pipeline is going to dry up, and that's obviously going to have its impacts. Deal flow. If your opportunities are not progressing onto the next stage in your pipeline, in your sales process, then again there's going to be problems, and there's going to be gaps, and targets are not going to be hit. So those are the 2 areas that we're going to talk about, and we're going to use a case study in order to tell you about that, and hopefully you can apply the use cases to your specific scenario. So let's just have a look at a little bit about where we've come from and what the future is for BNamericas. So the last 18 months, we've done a huge amount of development. If you were subscribed to the platform 18 months ago, you'd have seen a completely different interface. But fundamentally, at the heart of our platform are 17,000 plus project profiles. And each profile has its own milestones defined, all the associated news, all of the associated companies, people profiles, specifically in the energy, oil and gas, mining and infrastructure sectors across the whole of LATAM. So that's our bread and butter. That's what we're trying to do. That's the information we're providing you. Amazingly though, 12 months ago, we only had 8,000 projects in our database, and today it's over 17,000. So how have we done that? Well, what we're doing now is we're using artificial intelligence and data science, and we're connecting to over 24 different databases across the whole of LATAM often public databases, and this is where projects are uploading their project documents, like their environmental impact assessment reports. And so what we're doing is we're using data science to scrape that information and get it into our project profiles, giving you a much richer database. So that's the first part. So we're using data science to get project information. But the goal is not simply to grow the number of projects that we're tracking. What we're trying to do is dive into those projects and really explode the information in the profiles to give you as much visibility of what's going on in those projects. And so what we want to do is we want to help you identify what products and services, to begin with, are going on in that project. For example, how many tons of concrete are going to be required for this project? How many gas turbine generators are going to need servicing and when? How many water tanks do they need? How big are those water tanks? How many kilometers of road are going to be built and how many signs will be needed? Down to that level of information. How many portable toilets are they going to need? How many people are going to be on site? So these are all data points that you need in order to identify whether or not there's an opportunity for you. And then once you've got that data point and you know what your profile is, then you're looking at a lead, a set of leads which are much better qualified than probably even beforehand when you're doing meetings and in conferences. So far we're on phase one of this, and that's what I'm going to show you in the case study today. So what we've done is we're adding to each of our project profiles the products and services that are required in these projects, and then we're also attaching the project related documents. So these are project original documents that then you can get more information about the project when you're qualifying, you're going through your qualification process. Okay, so let's use a case study. So this is a real life customer. I've changed the name, but it is a customer that specializes in the security sector. They basically provide security services, everything from security cameras to on-site patrols to reporting, and they focus on two specific industries, the mining and the oil and gas industry. And they have offices in 5 different countries, in Colombia, Peru, Chile, Argentina, and Brazil. So it's a pretty big company, and they've been working with us for a number of years. And what I'm going to show you is a couple of case studies. This is real life examples of how we've helped them, or how they use the platform to identify new opportunities, and also to unstick an opportunity that we had a couple of months ago, which was quite interesting. Okay. So let's put ourselves in the VP of sales for DK Security to begin with. So he has a team across 5 different countries. He's got 4 specific products. He's got security cameras. He has he offers on-site personnel. There are hardware accessories, and then there is a mobile response, 24-hour response unit that they provide as well. So these 4 products are being sold into 5 different markets: Chile, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, and Argentina, in 2 different sectors. And so what is the VP's challenge? His challenge is to build a qualified pipeline. And for a qualified pipeline, he needs to know who are the target companies and the contacts within those companies, and what actually is the opportunity, how big is it, in order for him to push that into his CRM system and get his sales guys to follow it through. Well, that's exactly what we're trying to help him out with. And so what's the objective for BNamericas? So our objective is to help him build a sales pipeline of well-qualified opportunities using data science and artificial intelligence. So we've got the traditional activities the business development manager will be doing. Existing clients, there's going to be some business. Applying to tenders, the tender process. Not so much now these days, events and networking, but then also your usual marketing and advertising. And that's where BNamericas sit. We sit next to all of these traditional ways of generating leads, and we're using data science and business intelligence. And so the idea is we're a tool that sits next to the business development manager, and we help create leads. We help them identify their leads. And then once those leads have been qualified and they become an actual opportunity, then we provide tools and information and content to help move the deal through the supply chain, through the process, and improving deal flow. Okay, so I'm going to look at lead generation to begin with, and how BNamericas can help out DK Security to build some leads. And so try and think about your scenario as I'm going through this. If you've got any questions, pop them into the panel on the side, or if they come up later on, then give us a call or drop us an email. Okay, so you've all got your dashboards, and I'm sure most people, as I've seen in the last few months, probably have only got one dashboard. This makes me cry when I see it, because a dashboard really is for me a problem that you're trying to solve, or a challenge. And so it might be a specific sector or a region that you're focusing on. It might be a particular client that you're interested in. It might be whatever it is. Create a new dashboard for it, and because the more dashboards you create, the more granular you get with filtering out the content, and the more relevant the content is going to be to the question you're trying to solve. So you can see here I've got a few dashboards. I've got one which is my DK Security LATAM, so this is a general LATAM focusing on the oil and gas and mining sector. So this will be sending the VP a newsletter every morning with the most interesting news stories. But then something which is not telling me every morning, but it's something I can now go and have a look at. I've got a dashboard for each country and for each sector. And so every time I'm talking to, the VP is talking to his head of sales in Argentina, he can go onto the Argentina oil and gas and say, okay, how are we getting on in this sector? Where are our clients? What are the projects? And start having some really useful information in front of him. So that's my first bit of advice. Create as many dashboards as you possibly can. But in this case study, the whole idea is he's looking for some leads. So he wants to find some opportunities. So what's he going to do, and how is he going to use the platform? Okay, well, he's going to jump into the Chile mining dashboard, because that's where he's working today. That's where he's looking for some business opportunities. He's focusing in on Chile, and he wants to know what the pipeline is for Chile. Is it a market that we should be putting resources into? Is it where we should be spending marketing spend? What is the size of the market opportunity? So in the dashboard, he's got this is the news that the chief editor from BNamericas is highlighting that's most relevant in the sector in Chile. And then here's a list of projects which is being pushed to the front of the dashboard based upon the filters that have been set to define what a good project looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the project section, and we're going to start looking for projects that have a good fit for the products and services that DK Security is selling. So as you can see, we've got 17,183 projects in the platform today. Obviously, we need to now filter down and find projects where potential leads are going to work for us. And so there's lots of ways of doing this, but I'm going to fast forward very quickly and say I want to look and tell you today about the products and services feature that we've got on the platform. And this is where we're going in the future, and you'll see this part of the platform improve month and month. And so what you can do is you go to one of the filters, you roll down, and you come to products and services. And then in products and services, a little box will open. And in this box, behind this box, is over 4,000 products and services which have been predefined. And so the idea is that you will type in here what you sell. You will type in here the products and services that you're selling. So it might be, well, in this example, it's security. So you have to let the system catch up with you. But if you type in SECU, then you'll get a list of names of products and services appearing below. And so that's when you go down and you say, okay, what am I looking? Security cameras, brilliant. Okay, I'll take that. So that'll appear as in a blue box. And so that means what you're doing now is you're looking for all projects that have got a need for security cameras. Okay, so at the moment, because we're in Chile, I've stated that it's the area is Chile. And so at the moment, I've got 434 projects in Chile in the mining sector, well, not just the mining sector, that need security cameras. So I'm going to take it a step further. I know that the projects where we have the most amount of success are in copper and gold mining projects, and the reason for that is because normally they're the bigger projects, and normally that's where their big assets are, which have high value, and so they need more security. So I'm going to go into the topic feature, and I'm going to go into mining and minerals, and I'm going to choose the copper and gold projects that I'm looking for. Okay, so that will take me down to 251 projects. So I'm getting closer to my good profile. I'm interested in active and suspended projects, because even if a project's suspended, there are going to be assets on site, they're going to need security. Okay, and then I'm going to go and say, well, how big? There's lots of mines here still. We've still got 251. I'm only interested in the big mines, so let's use capacity, production capacity as a filter. So I'm looking at all mines that are producing 1,000 tons per year or more. Okay. So then I get down to my 80 projects. So this is my 80 projects that I think I've got an opportunity. This is where I want to give to my inside sales team, all my sales managers in Chile, and say, right, there's 80 projects here that I think we should be understanding whether or not there's an opportunity. So how big is that market? Well, we can get a feel of it. With a lot of these projects, we're tracking the capex information. So out of the 80 project profiles we've got capex information for 76. So it's a pretty good number, and that total is $140 billion. So I know as a security specialist that in mining projects there is typically a percentage X of capex associated to security spend, and that's industry standard. So I can start having a guess at what the market opportunity is for me in Chile in this sector. Is it attractive? I can then also see where are the projects. So 40 projects are in early work. So they're the guys that I'm really interested in. I want to see projects that haven't started setting up their security systems, and I can get in there early. The next bit I'm going to look at is, well, where are these 80 projects? Where do I want to deploy my resources? I've got an office in Santiago. Do I want to be targeting up in Atacama? It's a long way to go. I'm going to have some transport costs. Is that going to impact my margins? Do I want to just stay around Santiago? So I can start making some decisions about where I want to target at the moment, and whilst I'm doing my qualification. And then I can get into my project profiles. So let's have a look at a project profile. So I can go through each one of these, and in the project profile, I can start using my qualification criteria. So first of all, I need to be able to understand what's going on in the project. So I can see here that recently, on the 8th of June, there was an environmental impact statement for mining drilling in La Fortuna deposit. The term expires on the 4th of August. So okay, this is good news for me, because this is where I want to be. This is the time of in the project I'm interested in talking to them. Okay, so who is the buyer? Okay, and what do they need? So I can have a look at the list of products and services. So I can see in here in this list that they need security cameras. That's declared. They also need safety and security system installation services, something I hadn't seen, but might be an opportunity for some other services. So it's not just the cameras that I'm selling, that I might have an opportunity. Who's going to be the buyer? So who is the person I would be talking to? The contractor? Well, it's probably going to be the owner. So what's their contact details? What's their address? Let's find out some more information about them. Who in that business am I going to talk to? Okay, right. If I go down to key contacts, I can see I've got Mike Hubbard, Gerente de Proyectos. Perfect. So I've got a project that's at the right stage, at the right size. I know the company I'm going to be talking to. I've got the details. Okay, this is an opportunity that is qualified. Okay. I've also got what I referred to earlier was I've also got some of the information about the environmental impact assessment report. So I've got the original document that is currently in being submitted, and so I've got a huge amount of information about this. So just adding on to that qualification criteria, do I have any additional information? Yes, I've got the 300-page document describing where the boundaries are, and giving me the opportunity to size how many cameras they're going to need. So I will then click on, I'm going to add this to my folder. So this is going to be my chili leads folder. So a little productivity feature that you might not use in the platform. I'm going to have a folder which I store all my leads, and that's where I can sort of give my inside sales guys the access to the chili leads folder. And I can also add in a note, and I can give myself a note, added to CRM as qualified opportunity. So I could put this into Salesforce or whatever CRM system I'm using. I can leave myself a note just as a reminder. So that's how I use products and services. I'm just going to refer to one thing here, and this is interesting. We've got a drilling specialist on the call today, and so this is very relevant. And we've also actually got a software provider. So the products and services list here that you look for projects. So when you have your product service and you're looking for projects, you might not find immediately the product or service that you're looking for. And so you have to think about it a little bit. And so this example, it was a drilling software company, and they had some very impressive software that monitors the performance of the drilling. But obviously in our platform, we don't have drilling software product. And so, you know, we started thinking about, okay, well, what is it that they're tracking? Well, it's the drill bits, it's the drill rigs, and bang, we had a whole load of projects for them to be looking for. So just a little angle that that I wanted to give you on how to look for products and services. And again, give the account managers a call, give me a call if you need any help. Okay, deal flow. Just going to quickly just finish off with deal flow. So this is a scenario where, you know, they had this company had an opportunity. It had been stuck in one of the phases in the sales process for 8 weeks. Normally, you know, when it's in proposal stage, it's only in that stage for a week and a half, and so 8 weeks was just putting alarm bells everywhere, and they needed something to unstick this opportunity. So it was an oil and gas client. They were based in Colombia. So let's go into the Colombia oil and gas dashboard. And what we started to do was to started looking, you know, what's going on at the moment. And we saw Factiva. Talk to your account managers, get it set up working for you. It's amazingly powerful. It's got access to 3,100 newspapers and journals, and it will give you everything that's going on. And we saw this little article here about Colombia awarding some fracturing pilots in October, and you know, this had the client's name in it, and so we had a look at that. It was an article that came from a fairly discreet source, NGI's All News Access. This is a subscription paid service, and it had some information that was really interesting. It said it made us realize that their focus might have been on something else, the customer. So we then carried on looking in the platform, and then we noticed that BNamericas had written an article. Michael Place had written a very similar article a few days earlier. And so again, the target customer was named in the article. And so we thought, right, let's reach out to BNamericas. And so using the Ask Us button, contacted Michael and said, hi, Michael, I'm trying to get in touch with Drummond, referencing your article. Can you help us, please? And so it takes about 5 days, but Michael came back, and the research team, Michael passed it on to the research team. We helped them out. We helped them find the right contact, and then consequently got some really important information to move the opportunity through the pipeline. So, you know, using the news and hunting around and using Factiva can give you the intelligence and information you need to unnudge, and that's all it needs, just a little nudge to take the opportunity onto the next stage. We then showed them the oil and gas capex report, and so, you know, this is a report that our analysts have written recently, looking at how capex has been impacted by COVID-19, and started seeing lots of other opportunities. So, you know, this is a way of there's no one process of how you get deal flow going. Deal flow is all about just being a researcher, being Sherlock Holmes, looking for that nugget of information that's going to allow you to give your client a call and say, hi, what's happening here? And that can unlock a conversation. So that's really what it's all about. I'm going to close off there. I think hopefully I've sparked a few ideas in your mind today. generated some energy for you to log in and start using the platform with a slightly different way. Look at those products and services. We did this workshop 4 weeks ago. I've got 2 customers at the moment that I'm working with at the moment. We're doing some great stuff. We're looking at opportunity profiles for them, and please engage us. Let us help you. Alejandra, Laura, and myself are always here. So I'll sign off there, and wish you all a very good morning. And please do give me a call if you've got any questions or you'd like anything to know. I'm just going to check to see if we've got any questions. I don't think so. No. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a very good morning. Cheers. Bye-bye.